here, it's here, it's here, it's here, here. It is here! Booyah! Fantastic! Voila! Now that is a saddlebag. Hell yeah.
Hi, I'm Stuart Morris. I'm cycling to every large town near me in order of ascending distance and rating them, with the end goal of reaching Flamborough. This is your review.
On days like this, you have to wonder, why am I doing this? So what's been in the news lately? Well, York has just been moved up to Tier 2 restrictions, which means that pubs are still open as long as I go on my own. Not that I've had people tagging along anyway, but I especially can't have them now. But the joke's on you, Mr. Johnson, because I've been calling York a Tier 2 town for months before you have, so you're welcome. An interesting thing about Doncaster is it's the third Tier 3 town we're going to. The other two being Malton, which was pretty run-of-the-mill, and Harrogate, which got a full mark. So, Tier 3s, they're very hit and miss. We'll have to see how Doncaster fits into it all. Well, this is certainly unexpected. Oh god. I'm taking a weird route today because I wanted to avoid the A19. Google did not want to recommend this route.
But I didn't get far before I realised I'd made a critical mistake.
Come on. Come on, no. I caught a mistake live on camera. These are far more frequent than I let on in the video. I'm back into the caravan park, I guess.
So I headed back, looking for the turning that I'd missed. I wasn't prepared for what I'd find.
Left, the final left turn. Oh no. Oh, please, no. Oh, this isn't a cycle path at all. Oh no. This is the route. Oh god, what a horrible day this is. I even know if I'm allowed to cycle on here. It's a bloody golf course. Oh, I'm off.
With a grim determination, I powered on through the muddy fields of the golf course.
So I think you can kind of see like tyre marks in the ground here, which makes me think that maybe this is the way. I'm going to stay behind these white poles. I don't think anyone's going to get angry at me. Why has it recommended me this route?
I eventually came across a pack of golfers, but they seemed to ignore me. And a few minutes later, I saw my escape.
I'm free. I need to get over that bridge and I'm free. I didn't get over this.
The bridge was a bit small for my bike, but I didn't care.
I need to keep some footage for Doncaster, so I'll tune in again if it gets worse. Otherwise, that's it for now.
The ordeal was over. Or was it?
Remember when I said I wouldn't record again unless things got considerably worse? Do you remember how full of hope and optimism I was back then? Oh dear God. Ah! So the good news is that I've crossed this railway line here and I'm back on the road, but my freedom comes at a price. I come across this little construction site and I had to cycle along past it to get out. And on my way out I see this little, it's really weird to describe, it's like a massive traffic cone and it had a little blinking light on it, so you know, some sort of camera. So I give it a wave, as you do, and as I'm escaping I hear the siren go off. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Warning, this is security. Your presence has been detected. The owner and police have been informed.
We'll see if anything interesting comes of that.
With the police hot on my tail and my love for Google Maps at an all-time low, I decided to do what I should have done in the first place. I headed towards the A19.
And well, this is the A19. Google thinks this road is open, and it's not suggesting me another route to get round it. So I'm gonna have to get creative. Last time I was creative, I cycled through a golf field.
With the cycle over an hour behind schedule and the A19 closed, I was at a complete loss. I devised a new route and decided to give Doncaster one more try.
We're finally back on track. I'm in a place called Beale at the moment, and I've got a clean route all the way to Doncaster. So hopefully things are going to start picking up. We've got 90 minutes to get there at this point, but it's starting to rain. You know, things never go wrong on a nice day.
After this point, it was smooth sailing all the way to Doncaster. Getting into the centre of Doncaster was still a little tricky though. The route had me competing for space on a very busy road. Though I did end up on a bridge with a nice view of the River Don. Then, after competing with yet more traffic, I finally made it to my destination.
That was so hard. I had to cycle through a golf course, and I set off a building alarm. The A19 was closed. Then I was sent onto this little dirt track for a bit, and even just getting into Doncaster was horrible because it's too much. I couldn't find a place to park my bike. But I'm here now. And I have to do several takes like I did for Market Weight, and we've made it. We're in Doncaster. Pasta is on the way. Things are starting to look up.
Doncaster is a large minster and market town in South Yorkshire and takes its name from the River Don which flows through it. The town council applied to become a city in 2000, 2002, 2012 and have even announced a fourth bid, but it's always lost out to other towns in its previous attempts.
Doncaster's really big, but I'm struggling to think of something to do. And there are plenty of streets I can go down, go for shops and stuff, but I'm not really one for window shopping. That's the problem.
After a few minutes of wandering around aimlessly, I decided to embrace the local culture and visited the French Gate shopping centre.
This is actually a really big shopping centre.
French Gate first opened doors in 1968 and has 120 stores and services. I didn't count them though, and we all know how reliable Wikipedia is.
My search for activities has brought me to the Doncaster Museum and Art Gallery. But in what it turns out to be a spectacular third betrayal by Google Maps, they failed to tell me that they no longer live here and they've moved offices to somewhere else.
I was starting to worry that, despite the impressive size of Doncaster, I wouldn't find anything to review. But by sheer chance, I found something brilliant.
Doncaster, the only town where buildings can be devoured by other buildings.
This is Danham Gallery Library and Museum, and it's one of the most interesting buildings in Doncaster. It's constructed around the former Doncaster High School for Girls, and looks as if the building itself were an exhibit. The high school used to be in ruins, as seen in these photos taken by an urban explorer who goes by number 35 on the 28 Days Later forum. The school was demolished, but the school front was refurbished into what you can see today.
What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? This is my last chance to capture something which isn't just a shop or a high street. Let's give this a whirl, shall we? It's closed.
While I couldn't get into the Minster myself, footage uploaded by the YouTuber Malt Bilton can fill the gaps. This confirmed my suspicions that the inside of this building does indeed look like a church.
Doncaster is a town of utility, and if you lived here, I get it. You know, there are lots of shops, there are lots of bars if you want a sort of nightlife. In terms of a day trip perspective, it's just not doing it for me. I mean, there's not much green space, there's not much stuff to do. If you're not in a shopping mood, then don't come to Doncaster. But having said that, it's still a really big town, so I can't give it too low a score. And for all those reasons, I'm giving Doncaster a Yorks out of Yorkshire. I didn't talk about this on the show because I kind of wanted to pretend like it wasn't happening. But I think it's about time that I acknowledge what's been on in some of the outros that I've had. I think one of the first things to say is that I don't record outros, at least not normally, and the outros aren't there when I put them on YouTube. But when they are on YouTube, every now and then I get a little surprise clip thrown in there. Now those things happen, but I don't record them. In the last episode, there was an outro that was put on where he said something about Rotherham. Now Rotherham is the 47th town on my series. It's the one just before Flamborough. There's no special significance to it apart from that. In fact, Rotherham is in the direction that I travelled in today, so I know it's still doable. I mean, I could look it up on maps right now.
He said it like the word Rotherham is going to end my series, but look at it, it's fine. I mean, it is a bit far away, further than I remember it being actually, but this is the second to last town, of course it's going to be far. I can manage that. It's going to be okay. It's not ended the series. I'll see you all in the next one.